Hello, everybody. Jeff Cross here uh, with another edition of Changing the Face of Officiating. As you can see, I do not have anybody with me today, so we're going to go solo today, only because I've had a few requests of maybe me tackling a few subjects about officiating. So we're going to try that, and I promise there'll be more guests to come, but today it's just me. I apologize for that. So uh, first things first, I would like to thank everyone for subscribing to my YouTube channel. It's appreciated. I know I'm not that I'm looking for subscribers, but I just want to make sure that my work, uh, the things that I'm doing, is helping others. You know, and I assume if you're subscribing, that you're getting some sort of help out of that. So that's ultimately what I want. It's ultimately the reason I've done this, because it's just a thought process of mine, not necessarily maybe correct or incorrect, but it's a thought process of mine and the things that I've gone through to help me get to where I'm at today. So I just want to thank you for that. So first things first, get a question, email me, jeffcross22@gmail.com. If you have any concerns or topic ideas, just email those to me. You can also put them in the comments below in the YouTube section. So however you want to do that. And if you just search Jeff Cross on YouTube, chances are my stuff will come up. So, all right, jeffcross22@gmail.com. Subscribe to my channel and give me suggestions. All right, first thing I'm going to discuss. It's a word that was brought to my attention and how it affects my game. And it's called accountability. So where are we at with accountability? So, I thought about that, and some people are asking me, how does accountability, put that into your game? What does that mean to you? Well, it's the first thing I got to do is I got to look up the definition. What is the definition according to Google? What is the definition? Whoops, my Google just went off because I said Google. Hold on a second. All right, here we go. According to Google, what's the definition of accountability? Accountability is a noun that describes accepting responsibility, and it can be personal or very public. So, for us to have accountability, it needs to be personal accountability, or we need to make it very public that we've missed it. Because we live in a day and age where everything's on video, everything is on some sort of internet channel, TV channel. If it wasn't a TV channel, it'll get on an internet channel. It's out there. It's out there. So I'm going to start this way with accountability. I'm going to start with our test. Our test, our NCAA test, which is due this Friday, the 21st, tomorrow, because this is going up on the 20th. It's due tomorrow. You have a need, and you must get this done. If you don't get this done, you will be held accountable. And when you are held accountable to get this done, you will get it done. If you don't get it done, you have to accept the responsibility to say, I did not get it done, or I did not pass it. I've had a couple study groups this year, one down in Champaign and the other one up in Joliet. 7 people came to the one in Champaign, and 7 people came to the one in Joliet. Those people were accepting accountability that they had to get it done. Those people wanted to make sure that they did the best they could do because they knew they were going to be held accountable to get that done. So, not that you don't have to show up for my study group or any study group, but you are required to get this done. And in this study group, I found this. Everybody that was at that study group accepted accountability. They didn't understand a rule, or they didn't see the rule that way. That none of them, just in this group, said, "Oh, well, it's still wrong. It's still wrong. That's not right." We need to accept accountability on our rules knowledge and the way we apply them according to the rule book. Our rule book can be very difficult at times. So it takes a lot of work for us to get it done. I was in a scrimmage last night, and I asked everybody in the scrimmage if they had got their test done. And now these were with some younger officials, and one of the officials said, well, if I get it done, I get it done, because I only have 5 or 6 games. I'm not for sure how that is acceptable. I'm not for sure. If I was at work, if I was at my 9 to 5 job and I had to punch in, and my boss said I had to do some sort of training, we'll call it, maybe just watching a 20-minute video, or maybe taking a 10 question quiz on our rules and policy. And if I said, because I'm only part-time, and if I said, if I get it done, I get it done, that is unacceptable. That is not taking responsibility for your job, whether it be part-time or full-time. We need to have accountability for the things we want to do, even though we may not necessarily want to do them. Matter of fact, there's a lot of things we do that we don't want to do. You know what? I don't like dressing up going to games, but I do it, okay? Because I'm holding myself accountable to do what's expected of me in order to have this job. The test is one thing that we need to do to hold ourselves responsible, and we need to pass this test. Don't wait till 10 o'clock tomorrow night and now call Jeff Cross and hope he's available to answer the phone to help you with 5 more questions you have on the test because you don't know the answers. You know what you're doing there? You're holding Jeff Cross accountable for your test. You're not holding yourself accountable for your test. Seek help. Find a way to maybe get better in the rule book. You know, I put something out the other day. I tweeted something the other day that said, don't read the rule book just to finish the rule book. Read the rule book to become a better official. So, you know, we don't have to necessarily read it from front to back, but we need to read it, understand the rules so we can become a better official. All right, hold yourself accountable for taking the test and passing the test. Seek help. Don't hold someone else accountable. If we fail the test, who are they going to? They're going to blame you for failing the test, right? They're going to say you got a 75%. You're not going to be able to email back to NCAA and say, hey, well, Jeff Cross told me the answers were this. He's the one who failed the test. Incorrect. You hold yourself accountable for that. Second thing, hold yourself accountable for the games you're doing, whether they're JUCO, Division 3, 2, 1, whatever that is. You know, for a person who maybe does, let's just say you do 15 JUCO games and another 15 Division 3 games. And now you've squeezed in maybe 3 or 4 high school games. Hold yourself accountable to know those high school rules, to do your best to your ability to the high school game. Do not walk into that game and say, well, it's just a high school game. I got 30 more college games waiting right around the wings. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't want to do the high school game, by all means, do not do that high school game. And I would tell you the same thing. If you do not want to do the college games, then by all means, do not do them. There are people waiting for these games, whether they're high school, elementary, whether they're college, it doesn't make any difference. They're waiting. Okay. And there are people that are doing so, they're holding themselves accountable for getting things done that you haven't even thought about. So I'm trying not to preach, but it's time. We are going to go referee for real in less than 4 weeks. Some people in less than 2 weeks. Some people have a real game coming up next weekend. Real game. It counts for the records. So that's happening. That's happening, and we need to be ready to do that. All right. Second thing, hold yourself accountable to your play calling. Okay? Don't probably one of the most frustrating things for me as a referee, as I work games, is people say, "Oh, well, I didn't have a great look at it." Well, if it's in your primary, it's your job to get a great look at it. It's not someone else's job. So we're going to blame the players that we missed it. Years ago when I did a lot of baseball umpiring, and I went to many camps, and they teach us how to get in the right position behind the plate, behind the catcher, and had to see the plate and see the ball coming in with the catcher there and the batter there. And we had a catcher that maybe came to the inside part of the box, and then we had a batter that's got up real close to the plate. So I'm supposed to be in between those two, and I'm supposed to see the ball come in or whatever it is, and the ball comes right in and it's over the plate and it's in the strike zone, and somebody would call it a ball. And they'd say, "Well, how come you called it a ball?" "Well, I couldn't see it. The catcher was in my way, or the batter was in my way." Well, it's your job to see this pitch. It's your job. Find a way to make yourself in a position that you can see this pitch. It applies to all basketball also. Just because we're standing free throw line extended, we're standing free throw line extended in this home base scenario, or position of dependability is what I like to call it, and we miss a play that's in our primary. So I'm going to tell Coach A, "Well, your player stepped right in front of me. It's her fault." No, it's your fault. You need to move. They're playing the game. We get so mad at players. We get frustrated. We get frustrated at players and coaches because they get upset with us because we miss a play. It's our job to get them right. And when we get them right, they don't get frustrated with us. So hold yourself accountable. Make yourself work hard to get plays correct. And if you hold yourself accountable because you say, "If I missed it, then you missed it," okay? But you got to make sure you're working hard to get that right. Don't just accept the fact that it's somebody else's fault. That's probably one of I don't like that. I think it's immature. It's for some reason maybe even the way of the world now, how it's somebody else's fault. It's not someone else's fault. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So find a way to get that right and make yourself accountable to get those plays correctly. The third thing I want to talk about is video. When we go to video and we watch video and we see something on video, I just watched it the other day. Just watched it in the Cubs game last night. I had a close play at the plate. Everybody wants to go to video and everybody wants to see this, okay? And everybody wants to they go to video, they don't change the call, they still want to argue it. This doesn't make any sense to me. If we're going to video, we should be looking at video with a clear slate, empty slate. We don't have any idea what's going on. Look at this video and say, "Okay, what does this video show me? Does it show me that I got the play correct, incorrect, whatever? Should I be in a better position? Was I in the wrong position? What does it show me?" Don't go into video. This is why when Major League Baseball and even NCAA football, and I'm not sure about NFL football, but when they go to video, it's someone else looking at it. You know why? Because they have absolutely nothing invested in the play. Unfortunately, in basketball, it's not like that. When we go to video, just for our educational purpose, not necessarily in the game, but when we look at video, we should have nothing invested in the play. We're just looking at it. So that's what's hard for us as we go to educate ourselves and make ourselves better, and maybe make ourselves accountable for these plays as we discuss. We got to find a way to look at them with a clean slate. Sometimes, if it's not a major call, sometimes if it's just not even a major call, give it 2 or 3 days. Clip it, put it in your inbox, put it in the folder, whatever it is, and give it 2 or 3 days. Go back, look at it. So let me look at this play again. I got to check it out, right? We could send it to other people because they don't have anything invested in it. But I believe that's why we get better when we recognize that we've missed plays or we got them correct, or whatever it is, because we can clear our slate. And that's, when we hear fans yelling, oh, that's whatever, a touchdown, or, he touched a plate before, or whatever that is, because they're invested in that play. We have to find a way to uninvest ourselves from that play and disengage ourselves so we can give ourselves an honest opinion, which will make us more accountable when it comes to getting played correctly and learning from our mistakes or even our successes. Video has great success, but we got to let it give our success. If we don't let it do that, if we don't look at it and we don't accept the fact that we're going to miss plays, and when we miss plays, we got to figure out what can we do differently to not miss that play again. So those are the three things. I want to take a few minutes to talk about that. It's kind of a short video this time because obviously I don't have a guest and it's just me talking. And if I'm going to be honest, I get tired of hearing myself talk sometimes. So, but promise yourself, work hard at being accountable for what you are doing. Take accountability for your mistakes, because if you take accountability for your mistakes, you don't want to make the mistakes. If you take accountability for them, you'll work harder to not do them next time. Because if we blame someone else, we're not too worried about if we make that mistake again, because last time it was somebody else's fault anyway. It wasn't mine. So I'm really not in trouble. I don't have to be any better because it's somebody else's fault. Get rid of that mindset. Get rid of that mindset and take on every challenge as it's yours. I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to put yourself in better positions so you can get plays right. So that's just one topic. There's a few more topics that people have sent to me, and I'll do those as time goes on. Again, if you have any questions, please email me to jeffcross22@gmail.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate that. So I just know that we're getting some use out of this, and I think that's about it. So I hope you guys have a great, it's only Thursday, so the weekend's coming. I'm going to go watch my son play some soccer, and we're going to hold the refs accountable, right? Yeah. We're going to hold our players accountable. All right, guys. Talk to y'all soon.